الدنيا تضيق خلقك، الحمد لله ما حد بياخذ منك رزقك. هدي وارتاح ثابر واطمح من حقك، بس بلاش العين. لا 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 ما تسوى الدنيا تضيق خلقك، الحمد لله ما حد بياخذ منك رزقك. هدي وارتاح ثابر واطمح من حقك، بس بلاش العين.
Good morning to you all. My name is Abdullahi. I can't tell you a story about others because I was the one of them surviving in Somalia. I lost my husband and all my parents in Somalia. I was only 14 years and having one child, and I was pregnant 3 months. So my mother left 7 children on me. Plus my auntie died in front of me when my parents died. 3 children of them. 10 children from them, my child, 11 children. I was 14, I'm pregnant 3 months. I don't have any family. I'm just running out there, the whole town, running up and down. I don't have anywhere to run, to survive. Actually, I stay in forest 3 months with children. My auntie's child is 3 months old. My mother's child is, last one is 6 months old. So I'm carried the 6 months here, 6 months here, and 3 months here. I am pregnant, but I have to give my breast. There's nothing to give. There's a river there. I fish. I know how to fish. I fish. I cook. I eat with my mouth. I give 3-month-old baby and 6-month-old baby because the others, the biggest one is 13 years old next to me. I survived in the forest 3 months, and every night I make fire. I can't sleep. I look after the children because there's a lion, there's a snakes, there's a lot of things. One day I meet with a guy who is walking alone, who also lost his family, and I tell him, where you come from? He's like my own father. I feel like I find my father because for 3 months I didn't see anyone. I tell him, where you come from? He say, I lost my family and I don't have anywhere to go. I tell him, you know what? Thank you for coming. Let's go together, take these children with me. Let's just walk, maybe we'll find some place. We walk 1 month. Tonight sleep there, tomorrow sleep there. One of our child become without shoes in the house. I was still child when I ran away. There's a lot of gold in the house, there's a food. I didn't take nothing because there's a bomb out there. And when my parent died, I find my mom, she doesn't have 2 legs, but she's still talking. When I was running to her, all the stones come to her. I don't have place to save my life. I didn't bury them. I can see my husband lying there, my dad, my auntie, my mom. I'm just crying, but you know when you cry a lot, you become quiet again. So my plan is just to save these children. Inside of me, I'm empty. I'm like dead person, but my plan is just to save these children. So I have few minutes. I don't have big town. I have a lot of story. After 1 month, I find the town. Thanks to God, I find the town. I find white man who is named John from America. He take me to the refugee camp. That's how I survived. I come to South Africa. I don't want to say all the story because we don't have a time. I come to South Africa to save those children's life. And when I come to South Africa to save the life, I work hard. I even clean the house in Sister India because I'm not educated. I don't even know how to write my name. I never go to school. I am Hafid al-Quran, but I never go to school. So this sister, I'm working for her. I tell her, you know what, when I'm going home, just write my name on me. Here, I'll follow how to write my name. She teach me how to write my name and my surname. And I start going to the shops. She's telling me, you know what, you can't work for me. I don't want you to work for me. It's a small job and hard job for you. This job is not for you. Go find the job. I work hard to make money. I open my own business. with my husband. I actually married again because I am a woman, I can't walk alone. And actually, it's sad to say, it's South Africa. Every country has a bad people. If I say South African people did to me something wrong, I am wrong. Even my people doing to me, kill my own parent in front of me. I was raped, the business I opened in front of my children in South Africa here. They say, look, your mother. My husband was in front of me. The 5 men raped me. It was nothing for me. You know, I was watching when my parents died. I was survived a lot. This raping to save my children and my husband, because if I become a rude, they will kill someone else. So I give to all everything to Allah. And I say, you are the one who allowed me to everything. So Alhamdulillah, I've been through more than this. So let them finish. I didn't fight. Oh, my child is 14 years, is looking at me. I've been raped and finished. And I'm still strong.
Thank you so much, Ms. Hassan. I think the question and answer session, we can just finish everything. Each speaker here, we can ask all the questions, please more appropriate. And the second speaker is Dr. Jennifer Ruwagira, if I'm right in the pronunciation, from Rwanda.
Thank you for having me. I'm Jennifer Ruwagira from Rwanda, as they've actually mentioned it above. Actually, it's a great honor to be here as a Rwandan, at the same time a refugee, the same time a widow, and a finalist PhD from West University in Oncology Department. I'm a mother of 2 kids, and I'm a political activist, of which I'm based here as a politician in an opposition party called RNC, and I'm the Secretary General of the organization on this continent. I really thank you. I think I should thank you, though I don't know your name, but Tinswaga. I thank you for the invite. It was really a great honor. I even don't know what I can express myself. When I start actually saying this, it is a bit painful and heartbreaking. As I speak now, I don't know where my husband is. He disappeared for the past 4 years. I don't know, because of the leading president by the name Paul Kagame. We are based here. If we start actually expressing what we are going through, you know very well Kagame, that is the president of Rwanda. He has killed more than 6 million Congolese in Congo, following the poor women and the poor kids of Rwanda. You know, we've got 3 ethnic groups, you can say tribes, but I don't even call them tribes. We've got Hutu and Tutsi. For those who have went through the history of Rwanda, in 1994 we had a genocide which happened in Rwanda, and the ruling party, they had to fight the ruling party which was leading by then. So some women, they had to go through all that journey to run out of the country due to the war. And Kagame with his soldiers, they had to follow those poor women with the children and the husband and kill them. As we speak now, I'm speaking on the behalf of the Rwandan women, at the same time also on the behalf of the Rwandan in general. As we speak now, we've got like plus minus approximately 250 women who are in jungle with their kids. They don't have food to eat, they don't have clothes, they can't even study. We can't even go far from that. As we speak now, we've got some women who are running all over the world trying for survival to take care of their kids. I thank God that I'm a professional. At least for me, I don't sleep empty stomach, but there are my colleagues who can sleep empty stomach. So regarding what is going in Rwanda, as I speak now, we've got some of our colleagues. I think you all know what has been happening in Rwanda. A 35-year girl who's now in jail with her mother and her siblings because she criticized Rwanda. When Aisha was busy presenting about what is going on in Turkey, I saw some of the things which we've got in common. Injustice, there is no freedom of expression, there is no independent judiciary. You go to court, you go there, they see the face and they tell you to go back. Some people, they've disappeared because of the friends who are in politics. As I speak now, I've lost 4 members of the family who died because I'm busy saying what I'm saying now. And I know that of which I've presented now, there are also others who are going to die now in the country. So it is really a tragedy what is going on in Rwanda. I'm calling all women, not only on the behalf of Rwanda, but also on the behalf of the continent of Africa. You see what is going on in Africa, it is a catastrophe. I'm calling women to stand up and say enough is enough. I'm calling the government of Rwanda on the behalf of Diana and her family to be released from jail. I'm calling the government of Rwanda to release all the political women who are trying to say something and then they are being killed in Rwanda. As I speak now, I don't know the statistics because it is very difficult in Rwanda to do any statistics in Rwanda. Women are being killed on the street because they are trying to sell, to get something to eat, to feed their kids. Women are dying of hunger. The maternal mortality rate is high. And when they write on the internet, on the website, they say it has reduced to 77%, which is not true. The city is very clean, but there is nothing which is going on in Rwanda. They don't even have beds to sleep. Some women, when they go to the hospital to give birth, for those who cannot afford to pay the school fee, the hospital bills, they stay in the hospital. They are being actually hosted there for years and months, and the kids will grow up in those hospitals. It is very sad, and we've got what we call the First Lady. To me, I take a First Lady as a mother, but she can't even try to raise. We've got a parliament. I'm sure you all know that Rwanda, it has got the highest percentage of women on this continent, but nothing, they can't even raise their voice. They can't even advocate for those poor women and kids who are dying of hunger and who are dying on the street and being jailed. Thank you.
لا 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 ما تسوى الدنيا تضيق خلقك الحمد لله تافر وضح من حقك بس
And now we have Miss Ayçiçek, Yeliz Ayçiçek from Turkish community. She came to South Africa a year ago, I think, and she's here to share her story with us, how she left Turkey and in what conditions she came to South Africa.
Herkese merhaba.
She's going to speak in Turkish, so I'll be translating what she says to you.
Adım Yeliz Ayçiçek. 2 tane oğlum var. 1 yıl öncesi Türkiye'de yaşıyorduk. Hayatımız çok güzeldi, her şey yolundaydı ta ki 15 Temmuz olayları oluncaya kadar. O günden sonra her şey tamamen değişti.
I am Yeliz, she says, and she has been living in South Africa for a year, and she has 2 sons, the ages 3 and 7, right?
Yes.
And she says everything was, I had a beautiful family in Turkey, and everything was very nice, till the coup attempt on 15 July 2016.
Yes. Çevremizde birçok insan her gün birileri tutuklatıyordu. Eşimin kardeşi, babası, dedesi, daha sonra halaların, eşleri, yani birçok kişi. Biz de tabii tedirgindik bu yüzden. Komşularımız bizimle konuşmuyordu. Hayat yani çok zordu bizim için.
Yeah, then after that, my whole family was in jail. My husband's father, my husband's brother, and then uncles. And in the apartment, our neighbors started not to speak to us because the government was blaming the movement for the coup, and no one was speaking to us in the whole apartment.
Bir gün birisi bizi şikayet etti. Onlar FETÖ'cüdür diye. Şimdi Türkiye'de bize FETÖ'cü diyorlar. Bizi aldılar. soruşturma geçirdik, ifademizi verdik. Hala inanamıyorum niçin bizi bıraktılar, yani bilmiyorum. Bizi serbest bıraktılar. Telefonlarımızı, bilgisayarlarımızı aldılar, adreslerimizi aldılar, soruşturma açıldı aklımızda. Ondan sonra biz evimizde yaşayamadık. 2 ay başka bir yerde saklanarak yaşadık. Haftada bir gün belki zorunlu ihtiyaçlarımızı karşılamak için dışarıya çıktık. Böyle yaşamak çok zordu çünkü benim 2 tane çocuğum var, onların geleceği var, onların eğitimi var ve biz hiçbir yerde çalışamıyoruz. Yani paramız da bir yere kadar yetecekti.
And then for no reason, the police came to our house and they arrested us and they took us to custody. And they just took over our cell phones and laptops and everything. But somehow, now it shows the justice system in Turkey, somehow we don't know why they released us and they didn't tell us anything. But after that we couldn't reside in our own houses and we lived in Turkey for 2 months by hiding in different places. And we try not to go out, maybe once a week for the needs, the important needs of our kids. Then we decided to take an action because it wasn't a way to live decently. We thought about the education of our kids and, you know, the future of our family.
Hakkımızda soruşturma olduğu için havalimanlarını ya da sınırları kullanamazdık. O yüzden illegal yollarla ülkeyi terk etmek zorundaydık. Bu işi yapan insanlarla tanıştık. Onlar bize yol gösterdi. Yunanistan'dan çıktık. Bu bizim için çok zor bir yolculuktu. Ocak ayı Türkiye'de kıştır. Biz Ocak ayında çıktık. Yunanistan'ı Türkiye'den ayıran nehir var. Nehirle botla nehri geçiyoruz. Daha sonra yürüme yoluyla sınıra en yakın kasabaya ulaştık. Bu yolculuk tabii çok zordu. Araç kullanamadık. Yürüyerek geçtik. Yol karlıydı, kıştı. Ve benim 2 tane çocuğum vardı. Birisi küçük, yürüyemiyordu karda. Onu ben taşımak zorundaydım. Yolculuk çok uzun sürdü bizim için. Yaklaşık 5 saat sürdü.
And after that we decided to leave the country, but unfortunately there was still an interrogation about us, so our passports was taken over also, seized, so we couldn't leave the country illegally. So we met some people, some civil society organization people who are trying to help the people like me and my family. That the best way is to leave from the Greece, and but it was in January and it was ice cold in Turkey and there was knee-high snow. So the best way, there was a river there in ice cold water. They had to cross the river and they walked for 5 hours to the nearest village to the border to Greece with 2 little boys, and one was still couldn't walk then. He had to carry for 5 hours the little boy just to manage to get across the border. And it was such a painful journey for them.
Kasabaya ulaştığımızda bizi polisler yakaladı. Sonra bize sordular, Suriyeli misin, Türk müsün? Biz Türk olduğumuzu söyleyince bize yaklaşımları daha farklıydı. Biz hizmet insanıyız diye bahsettik. Fethullah Gülen'i savunuyoruz diyerek bahsettik. Onlar bize sahip çıktılar. Bu çok ilginç. Ülkemizde polisler bizi tutuklarken başka ülkenin polisleri bize sahip çıktı.
And when they arrived in Greece, the Greece police just took them. And they asked them if they are refugees from Syria, if they are from Turkey, and they said they are from Turkey, and they are fleeing from the current political situation against Hizmet movement. And when the Greece police, found out that they were from the Hizmet movement, they helped them. And she says it was very interesting that our own people rejecting us, but knowing what Hizmet movement does in the world, the Greece people just helped us.
Sonra biz Yunanistan'dan Belçika'ya geçtik. Daha sonra buraya geldik. Hayatı burada yeniden başladık. Burada arkadaşlarımız sayesinde ayakta duruyoruz. Onların bize verdiği motivasyonla. Eşim burada çalışıyor. Ben dil öğreniyorum. Çocuklar eğitime başladılar. Burada mutluyuz ama buruk bir mutluluk. Çünkü aklımız hala Türkiye'de. Türkiye'deki arkadaşlarımızda, Türkiye'deki akrabalarımızda. Yani ülkeyi terk etmek, ülkeden çıkmak çok da mutlu etmiyor bizi aslında. Çünkü orada çok zor hayatlar var. Aklımız hep onlarda, kalbimiz hep onlarda.
Thank you. And the final remarks. Then the police helped them to get to Belgium. From Belgium, they came to South Africa. They said we made friends here, and our kids started their education again. I'm learning English, she says, and my husband found a job here. Now we have a decent life compared to what's happening in Turkey. But she ended her remarks beautifully, saying that we are happy here, but can't truly be happy when we are thinking about our sisters and what's happening there in Turkey. So yeah, thank you for that. So it's not about the Turkish women, but for the women all around the world. Please be with us. Thank you, Yeliz. Now I want to call upon Miss Papamadis from Greece.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Good morning to all. Thank you for giving me this platform today so that I can be able to bear testimony to the Greek refugees of 1920s from Turkey to Athens, from Turkey to Greece, and vice versa, the Turkish people that were taken from Greece back to Turkey. I see a lot of my Turkish sisters are shaking their heads. They understand the history very well that I'm speaking about. And this opportunity particularly talks about my great-grandparents and my grandparents. And there's a lot of sadness, but there's also a lot of success. So I want to share with you that albeit you go through a lot of heart pain and a lot of loss and a lot of humiliation, you come out of it and you do survive. So I'm a fourth generation survivor of refugees. My grandparents and my great-grandparents, and I want to believe a lot of my family beyond that in the centuries, were from Istanbul and in Constantinople, as we used to know it, and Izmir. I have met people here today from Istanbul and Izmir, and it gladdened my heart. Also to listen to the Turkish language being spoken after such a long time, it was wonderful for me, as my grandparents and my aunties were always communicating in Turkish. So it was really wonderful for me to be here today with you. What actually happened at that time, and at this moment I must say, it's never about the people, it's always about politics. People are not inhumane. The politicians are inhumane, and the powers that be are inhumane. At that specific time, I believe there were preparations for the First World War, and they were looking to adjust the boundaries. So what happened was, there was a word going around that there was an uprising in Asia Minor, in Turkey, and they could expect retaliation from the Greek soldiers as well as their allies as well. So my great-grandfather was he was a chairperson of the Hellenic community in Istanbul at the time. So he received the message from the allies that they must be prepared and start collecting the community because the attacks were going to start. So there is a river that is running. I'm forgetting the name of that river. And they were actually sharing a dinner together, and they saw that the river was turning red. And what they found out eventually was Kurds. It was the Kurds that were being slaughtered just higher up at the borders, and the bodies were thrown into the river, and the river was turning red. Sorry about that. I haven't spoken about it in many years, so just bear with me. So, anyway, no one was expecting anything to happen. Everything was quiet in Istanbul and those areas at that night, and they went to sleep. When they woke up, the armies had pulled out, their allies as well as the Greek armies, and they had left the Greek people and the Turkish people to sort themselves out. So it became a Holocaust. People were killing each other. There was no way out. they came to my grandfather's house, my great-grandfather's house, and they called him Vagelu Star. And they called for him, and he had to come out, and they shot him in front of the gate. My great-granny and her daughters, her 2 daughters, and my grandfather were put in washing baskets by Turkish people that were working with them. And they were taking them to the station to load them on the train so that they could be taken at the border. So what actually happened, because they were counting the families, they were looking for the family of my great-grandfather. So eventually they found them, and they took them as refugees. They took them as refugees, separating them. They separated my grandfather and my granny, her sister, and my great-grandmother. And after a long walk, they walked up to Russia, all the way up to Russia, where my granny was pregnant. The baby was born as a refugee. There's a long story there. We all understand the baby passed away. And then when they managed to get into Greece, they couldn't find my grandfather. So the Red Cross assisted them. So here comes the success story. My great-granny, when they left, had managed to wrap around her waist a thick gold chain, which through the time had grown into her flesh. So she went in the island of Kefalonia. I think you know Kefalonia. And she took the cord out and she put it on his table. And she said, "This is what I have. I want you to give me an empty building, and I'm going to start a weaving factory for the refugees," which happened. And it was called the Heritage Academy. And it's still going on today in Kefalonia. So they managed to find my grandfather through the Red Cross. After all the years, my uncle, my mom's brother, became an archbishop with the Patriarch of Jerusalem, and he was made a defender of the Holy Cross, and he was sent to minister in southern Africa. So we found ourselves coming towards South Africa, where he started the Academy of Heritage, which is now known as Saheti School. And now you see me sitting here talking to you. So there is success that comes through pain. This is what I wanted to share.
لا 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 ما تسوى الدنيا تضيق خلقك، الحمد لله ما حد بياخذ منك رزقك، هدي وارتاح تابر واطمح من حقك، بس بلاش العين. لا 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 ما تسوى الدنيا تضيق خلقك، الحمد لله ما حد بياخذ منك رزقك، هدي وارتاح تابر واطمح من حقك، بس